The Falcons offense at the line. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? That one covers 29 yards, first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Wrigley. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. On the carry, it's Edmonds. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Check 45 to my house. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get that?
Murray now on first down. They'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. No problem for the Steelers. They have opened that lead up a bit further. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it.
And it'll be intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. Looking left side, and it's complete. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Jordan Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Yeah, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Working from the gun. Rodgers airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
25 yards that time. From the gun, they run with Smallwood. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. This one caught by Isabella. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And out of bounds right around the 20. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
Here we go. Hunt, 64. Wait. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
From the gun on third down, Murray. He's going to fire one deep. It got his man complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go now. 60 out low. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block. Zoom.
To throw is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Again, it's Smallwood. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Hey.
To throw on third down. Murray. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Andy Isabella, 87 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. After the sack on first down, Rodgers. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
And now off off to the races down the right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Wendell Smallwood with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Littleton in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. First down, a run with Smallwood. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Here's Smallwood. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Andy Isabella was the intended target.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
They'll run on first down. Smallwood, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cards, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.